Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be checking out the Emax BabyHawk R Pro. Now this is their newest sort of BabyHawk version. They had the original BabyHawk, they had the BabyHawk R, and now they have the BabyHawk R Pro. If we just take a look at all the components on the quad, the frame itself is actually unibody. You can see they're using only 3 motor screws on the end here, so it should make it stronger. They do have the carbon running lengthways on the frame, so it is reasonably stiff for a unibody frame of this small, being 3mm. Obviously I can bend it, but for how small it is and how light it is, it's going to be more than durable enough. And I'd say you probably have a hard time breaking it. The motors that they have used are their own Emax RS11062, and now these are 6,000 kV motors, so this guy is meant to be run on 3S. If we look towards the center, they do have their sort of mini Magnum F3 stack, or maybe, I'm not sure if it's an F3 and F4, although looking at the chip, it definitely looks like to be the size of an F4. So they have their little 4-in-1 ESC, the flight controller, Betaflight flight controller, and then they do have the little receiver and VTX stacked up top underneath the canopy. It is nice that it comes with this tiny little battery strap already pre-installed, and you have this little sticky battery pad to help keep that in place. The XT30 lead that comes off already has a tiny little 100 microfarad cap installed. Whether that helps or not is up for debate, but I guess it's nice that it's there. The USB port is very easily accessible there. And then up front we do have our Emax branded CADDIct. I believe it's an SDR1 camera up front, which is just wired into the flight controller there for your Betaflight OSD, as well as there is a buzzer right here. The props are the Emax, I believe they're the Avon Flow props or the Avon Rush, I'm not sure, but they are 2.5 inches right here. This can be a very small and convenient size. And then out the back, I just stuck the VTX antenna and the RX antenna out the back. It's not the best solution, especially since the RX antenna isn't totally straight. It sort of bends out there, but there's no really other good place to mount it, unless I put like a zip tie coming out of the canopy, but that would ruin its cool look. So you can see this thing just looks absolutely amazing. And it is really nice that it comes stock bind and fly ready for free sky, and I believe there are a few other options, but you do get a pretty awesome little 2.5-inch quad with no building required for about $160. So let's put it on the scale here and see how much it weighs. So let's make sure it's all on the scale. So the quad weighs about 92.4 grams, and the batteries I'm going to be using are these little Tattoo 450 3S packs here, supposedly 75C, which weigh about 42 grams. So when you put it all together, you get about 134 grams all up flying weight. So that's just a real quick intro on the quad and its specs, so let's see how it flies.
Oh my baby, got me staring at you, so I'm crazy. Won't you bend that back for me? We won't stop, got your feet both locked. You get to fly with me. I can take you down for a ride. I take you around my life. Jaywalking, crosswalking, lip locking, but you, I know it, you know it, we make it. So I'm crazy. Oh my baby, got me staring at you, so I'm crazy. Won't you bend that back for me? We won't stop, got your feet both locked. You get to fly with me. I can take you down for a ride. I take you around my life. Jaywalking, crosswalking, lip locking, but you, I know it, you know it, we make it.
So here you are back after that flight footage, and after that, and especially if you've seen my individual line of sight video that I did, I'll link it down below with this quad. This thing absolutely rips for only being 2.5 inches and 3S. I was really surprised with how much power it had. And now some people have run this on 4S. I wouldn't really recommend that since these are 6,000 kV motors. It's going to be kind of a lot for these little motors, and they're probably going to get pretty hot. But I know it has been done, so do at your own risk, but I bet the power on that would be absolutely mental. It comes in this nice little box. It's actually pretty convenient for storage and carrying. However, you do have to take the props off if you want to fit it back in here. It does come with a little camera adapter to change the settings on the camera if you wish, as well as a set of spare props and an instruction manual down below. In terms of the camera itself, I wasn't too impressed with it. This is actually my first RCAddict cam, and the colors and everything and just the light handling seemed a little bit weird, but it definitely is nice that it is a standard micro camera, so if you don't like it, you can just take it out and swap in whatever one you prefer. In terms of the overall flight performance, obviously it has a lot of power and flies very well. If flying it indoors, I definitely don't recommend it. I'd still say something like your traditional Whoop or the newer brushless Whoops indoors are going to be a lot better. But this 2.5 inch size with a lot of power is kind of interesting because it's smaller than a 3 inch. It's bigger than a Whoop, and it's definitely smaller than a 5 inch, so you can kind of fly it and be a little bit more risky in the places that you fly it. Like, for example, diving a building with something like this is going to be a lot less suspicious than diving a building with like a 5 inch quad. So it's definitely a very interesting category. I wasn't a big fan of the receiver and the VTX just because of the way they're mounted in there. The receiver is actually just duct tape on top there, and it was kind of hard to bind without taking the canopy off. And then the VTX is pretty hard to press the buttons. You kind of have to go through these slots. And it's a locked VTX at first. You can't access some of the channels, and you can't access 200 milliwatts. So Emax does have a video on how to unlock it. And once you go through that, it's not too bad. And it has the little LED display, the readout to show what channel you're on. My BabyHawk came stock on Betaflight 3.5, and it was actually running 32K 16K with a CPU about like 50 or 60%. So I'm not sure about that, so I just lowered it down to 8K 8K. So yeah, that's pretty much going to do it for the review. Overall, I think for $160, you're not going to be able to do much, if any, better building it by yourself. For the parts and the amount of performance that they've packed into this thing, and all just one simplistic, awesome-looking package, I think $160 is actually a really fair price point. And there's not really too much else on the market that can compete with this at the moment. So that's going to do it for the review. There will be a link down in the description below if you're interested. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.